with last winter, the hiring of Zach Woodfin as our strength and conditioning coordinator, the change we felt like we needed to make there. We've had a great off season, a great summer, and a really good last 4 weeks. We've done a good job here in terms of changing over the roster to give ourselves a chance to have success every week. Feel good about the players that we have, the direction that we've taken. And Saturday night will be a barometer to how far we've come. It was obvious last year we hadn't come far enough when we went up there and played. Coach Mullen has done a great job up there. His staff has. Tremendous in terms of recruiting, creating a culture of not accepting mediocrity. I mean, they were, in my mind, one win away from, at the end of the year, from playing in the tournament, giving themselves a chance for a national championship. This will be the 4th time in 5 years that I've been a part of a team that's played against Manny Diaz defense, twice at Oklahoma State. Last year he was at Louisiana Tech, and he does a great job of creating pressure and getting you in lost yardage situations and turnovers and not giving up big plays. That's really what this game is about. He does a great job of that. So it'll be a real challenge for us, one that we're looking forward to. I know our fans are. I know our players are. I know we're significantly better. And all we got to do is have a good week this week and see where we're at Saturday night. But I'm excited about our team.
Coach, as you sit here today before the first game, could you kind of contrast it between the previous 2 years as far as how you feel going into the season?
Well, I think when you're around your guys all the time, it's hard, and you practice against each other. It's really hard to assess where you're at because you're just going in. There are no preseason games. There are no jamborees. So you only know what you know. And coaches are the ultimate optimists. If we do this and we do these things right and we do this, we give ourselves a chance to win because there's a number of ways to win games. But I can tell you just from, I'm a better head coach. I think we've done things better in the off season. I know we've recruited better. I know we've got more talent. Now we just got to be able to put that on the field. But I felt better every day since the winter. We had fewer off-season issues in terms of not in terms of the mistakes a couple guys made, but I'm talking about in little things, going to class, being on time with things. We had fewer of those things. It was a real sign of maturity.
You brought up coaching against Manny Diaz, and obviously there's a big challenge in going against a defense coordinator like him. But is there some part of you that kind of gets amped up about going up against somebody who's very good at what they do?
Sure, there's an excitement in that. It's fun to go against somebody that challenges you as an offensive coach, forces you to execute. And so there's a challenge with that, and it comes with the scheme that they present and the players that they have. Again, I really felt that a lot like in 2011 when I was at Oklahoma State, we won big because our defense created turnovers. I mean, we led the nation in creating turnovers. Now, we were really good on offense, but we created a bunch of turnovers. And Louisiana Tech was good on offense, but they were really good at changing the game and changing the momentum of the game. And that's where I think very few people do what he does, but it's the reason you win. It's the reason you have success, is lost yardage plays, turnovers, and not giving up big plays. That's how you win. So it's fun. And I thought we had a pretty good plan last year. Losing Nick obviously stung us a little bit, but we still could have executed better, and it'll be a lot of fun Saturday night.
Is it possible both quarterbacks see time, or will it be one guy Saturday?
It's possible. Yeah, we anticipate both to play. Both are good players.
Do they know the game plan? I mean, like, after we sit here Monday, have you gone
players?
Yeah, well, the two quarterbacks, do they know exactly what?
Do they know the game plan of what we intend to do come Saturday night? Yes. That doesn't mean you can go ask them.
Right.
Dak Prescott is considered one of the best quarterbacks in the country. What do you have to do to slow him down?
Well, I think, first of all, he's a tremendous football player. And for him, when he got his opportunity, you talk about he's one of the rare examples of a young man buying his time and working hard. So many young people today want to quit and change, and I'm not getting my opportunity, and I want it now. And he's worked awfully hard to get where he's at. That's a credit to him and his staff that kept him there. And he took advantage of it once he got that opportunity. They've taken off since he's been playing. What he does is he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He's very accurate, and he can beat you with his feet or he can beat you with his arm. And that's a very difficult proposition. But I do think they do the right things with him. They run him when they have to run him. But he's a tremendous player, and obviously they've taken off since he became their quarterback. But I give a lot of credit to him. And what we'd like to see with all of our young people today is if I don't have success right away, is to continue to fight and scratch and claw to get what you want and don't give up. And that's what he did.
How do you balance trying to, keep Dak Prescott in check? Like you said, you can run the ball, you can throw the ball. How do you kind of balance trying to attack him?
Well, first of all, he's hard to bring down, okay? And those guys that are big and carry their pads like he does and have deceptive speed, they just do. The bigger you are, the better you carry your pads and his long strides. So the biggest thing is not letting him get going. Bigger backs, bigger receivers. You've got to stop, make them stop-start. They're not stop-start guys. Not that he can't, but it's just you get those big guys rolling. It's hard, so we've got to do a great job of gang tackling. We've got to put pressure on them. I don't care if it's Dak Prescott or whoever you play. The whole idea is you got to affect the quarterback. That's what they do so well, Manny Diaz. They affect the quarterback. You look at the games they've had success, you're affecting the guy that has the ball. And ultimately, has a huge impact in the outcome. So it's how do we affect him so he's unsettled and not comfortable? Defensively, that's part of it. Part of it is we've got to do better offensively than we did last year in terms of 6 straight possessions of either 3 and out or 2 turnovers. You've got to put the pressure on the opposing coaches to make the calls and the opposing players to make plays when it matters. Everybody can make calls and make plays when it doesn't matter. You've got to force them to make plays when it matters, and he's done a great job of that. So we have to continue to apply that pressure.
If there's one or two areas that you feel like you guys can most exploit Mississippi State's weaknesses, what would you say those are?
I don't know if you really exploit anybody's weaknesses as more that you play to your strengths. We're going to play a lot of really good football teams. There's a reason why they're Division I athletes. They have talent. Now, who do we have that we think poses problems? Where are our strengths that we have to rely on first? So sure, there are certain things that you may see from an opponent that you like, but again, their team has changed over quite a bit. I mean, not that they don't have still the same structure, culture, and players, but there's change in that. There's change in the defensive system. So, and there's an off season. When you play somebody first, there's always some wrinkles. There's always, you go visit somebody, hey, I like the way they do this, or you analyze what you're doing. So there's a little more gray in the first game than there is when you get further in the year. And then because there's such a time from January till now. After this, there's a week. You can't change drastically, but there are some changes that you can make within 6 months.
Sorry.
You go ahead.
I don't know if this is a fair question, but as far as regular season openers go, where does this one rank for you since you've been here at Southern Miss with the kind of intensity and hype about this game?
Well, it's different than last year because it's here. Last year was big, just to be able to play them, and obviously not only being in state, but be a quality opponent, and one that Danny had done such a good job of building up. But that it's here on our campus, when you're talking about the number of people that will be here this weekend, I think it's tremendous for our campus, our fans, our players, and it comes at the right time because we're significantly better.
And a lot of the guys, some of the local guys, especially on the team, being able to play some of the guys at state that they played high school ball with and stuff like that, be able to do in front of their home crowd. I mean, do you see that kind of being important to them, or is it just, approaching it
Sure
as
it
another
is.
game?
Sure it is. I think it's always important when you play in front of your family and friends and against your peers, a matter of pride. So there's no question that all plays into it. Obviously, whoever you play first to start the year off the right way is important. This just happens to have a little bit more excitement, build up around it, being national TV. We obviously didn't put our best foot forward last year, and I expect that to be different.
Talking about that big stage, if anything, what do you do to help prepare the kids to keep them from getting those saucer eyes?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, we played on some pretty big stages. We played at Alabama, we played at Nebraska, we played up at Mississippi State. The neat thing is we get to play them here. This is one of the things that if our conference wants to take a step forward, then and our school wants to take a step forward as we've had, you've got to get these teams to come play here. You've got to recruit talent, you've got to coach them up, and you've got to give yourself the best chance to win, which is playing at home. We've done that. Getting these guys to come here this weekend gives you the best chance you have to win, besides what you can control, which is your personnel and how you develop them. Outside of that, can you get them here in front of your fans? It makes it very, very difficult, and us make it hard on them to function. So that's, when you're constantly playing those teams on the road, you're already at times at a disadvantage on some matchups than others, but then on the road, and, so obviously, that's probably what's different this year, just in terms of playing them here.
For Southern Miss to be 1-0 for the first time since 2011, what's going to have to happen on Saturday?
It's really simple. I mean, I say it every year. It comes down to 5 things: turnovers, explosive plays, third down conversion, score zone, red zone, and lost yardage plays. Who wins those categories wins the game. We have enough talent. It's not going to be about talent. They have good players. They have good coaches. So do we. It comes down to who executes their game plan better. That's the bottom line of what it is. In those areas, and if we excel in those areas, we'll have a great chance to win the game.
Anything else?